Good morning. Are you ready to learn some real life English with comprehensible input? Well, good, because today I am going to show you the real English that natives like me speak by showing you guys my morning routine. What I do in the morning when I wake up. Let's go. So guys, first thing I do every single morning when I wake up, I reach over here and I put on my glasses. Then I get up out of bed. I get up out of bed. All right, it is 7:48 a.m. and honestly, I'm usually awake much earlier than this, but last night I took some medicine for my allergies that made me very tired. So this is the time I'm getting up. Now, I love coffee. So the first thing I think about when I wake up, coffee. But because I drink so much coffee, a lot of times I get dehydrated, which means that your body needs more water. So you could just drink some water, but when you drink plain water, your body just pushes it right through you. So what I try to do is drink some electrolytes, and electrolytes are the minerals that help your body to be hydrated. But if I don't have these, I will just take a bunch of salt, eat the salt, and drink the water. Luckily, I have electrolytes today. So we will put that in some water. Then we mix. Now we drink this big glass of water with electrolytes. Alright guys, we are in the car now, and to be honest, I know this is a bad habit, but I'm gonna go get a coffee. I have a coffee maker at home. It's much cheaper, but for some reason, I love the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. So a lot of times I will go and get the coffee that I like. Plus, there's another thing I do pretty much every morning when I'm not working, and I want to show you guys that too. So let's go get some coffee. Let me put on my seatbelt, or as we say, buckle up. All right guys, got my coffee. And one of the things that I always make sure I do in the morning, if I have time, is get out in nature and go for a walk. So I really like to come to this park. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the birds are singing and it's a beautiful day out here. So when I go for a walk here, I try and make sure that I take it nice and easy and appreciate the beauty of nature. Look at the birds, look at the flowers, look at the green. I like this big piece of land right here. I like to imagine that it's mine because one of my dreams is to have a big piece of land. So I look out at that and I imagine how my piece of land will look one day when I get it. Visualization is a powerful tool, my friends. So now I get some exercise. I put in my headphones and I learn. I always use the mornings to absorb information, to learn things. So right now I'm listening to Tony Robbins' video, and he's talking about how to grow a business. So that's the kind of things I try and use my free morning time for, to learn about things that will help me reach my goals, improve the things that I'm working on, my health, my finances, which means money, or my spirituality and my mind. So now I'm gonna go walk and keep on learning from one of the greats. This kind of tree, guys, is called a willow. I don't know why, I've always thought they were pretty cool. My dad used to tell me stories about how when him and my aunts and uncles were bad, their grandparents would make them go get one of these so that they could whoop them with it. Of course, when your parents tell you stories about their life, it was always terrible, right? Alright guys, I'm driving home now, working on my coffee. had a nice walk, saw some peaceful nature. One thing I just wanted to mention right now is no matter where I'm driving, if it's a short car ride or a long car ride, I'm also listening and learning. So never waste your time, guys. I've always said, and this is not my quote, okay? It was said by Jim Rohn, who was an awesome motivational speaker. But my car is a university on 4 wheels, meaning I am always learning and listening while I'm driving. And just think about that, guys. Say it takes me 25 minutes to get to work and 25 minutes to get home. That is an extra hour, basically, of learning every single day that I work. Okay? Now imagine you do that for 5 years. You're going to be a beast at whatever it is you want to learn about. Now that's actually an interesting piece of vocabulary, if you guys haven't heard it before. So, a beast is like a monster. Okay? We call somebody a beast who is very good at something, okay? If a guy lifts a lot of weights, he's a beast in the gym, all right? Kyle is a beast in the kitchen and in front of the camera. So if you work, 250 days out of the year, let's just say, and you listen on your way to and work to something educational, that's 250 extra hours of learning a year, all right? Now that's on top of when I'm walking. That's on top of when I'm at home reading. So guys, I guess the moral of this story, never stop learning, don't waste your time.
Think of it this way, there's 2 types of motivation in life. There's push motivation, where you're trying to make yourself do something, and all of you in this room, around the world, but there's a limit. There's a limit to willpower, no matter how much you have. And when you're most exhausted and tired, you notice your willpower may not feel as strong.
Alright guys, now we have some work to do. So this isn't something that I do every day, but in the mornings I definitely use that time to fix the problems that my family is facing, okay? I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and that comes with a lot of work. So guys, what I have to do today is work on my car. There's something going on with a piece that is attached to the motor. So right now we're gonna learn some excellent vocabulary, and we're gonna get a little lesson on how cars work. Let's go. All right guys, this is my Jeep. And this is called an EGR valve, okay? This is what we're changing today. How do I know that this is messed up on my Jeep? Well, 2 things. Number 1, my Jeep has what is called a check engine light on. This little light, that little light means that something is wrong with the engine in your vehicle. So what do you do when that light comes on? Well, if you don't mind spending a bunch of money, you take it to a mechanic and they will plug a little machine in, and that machine will tell them what's wrong, and then they will tell you, and then they will charge you a ton of money to fix it. But if you're trying to save money, you buy the little machine yourself on Amazon for $30, then you plug it in to your car, and then the machine will tell you what's wrong with your car. Now, I'm trying to save some money, guys. So I've been working on my car myself, and it's cool because I am learning so much. I'm learning so much about cars, but it takes a lot of time and you get really dirty. So let's get dirty and learn a little bit about EGR valves. I bet you guys did not think when you clicked on this video you were going to learn what an EGR valve was. Well, you're gonna. All right, guys. So what does an EGR valve do? Well, this is actually a pretty controversial little piece of machinery, and controversial means that people argue about it. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. What they say that it does is it reuses, recycles exhaust, okay? So your engine pulls in clean air, and what it puts out is exhaust, which is basically air mixed with burnt gas, okay? So what this does is it takes some of the exhaust and shoves it back into the hot motor, and that takes up space and cools down the motor, okay? And then it helps to produce less exhaust, which goes into the environment, which goes up into the air, into the ozone, the environment. That's what they say. Now, some people say that this is a scam and you might as well take the whole thing off, all right? Because they don't think that there's anything wrong with the environment, blah, blah, blah. They think that this is just a problem and we don't need it. I don't know if we need it or not, but I know that my car needs it because they designed it that way. So I'm gonna put it on and I'm not gonna complain. Let's put on an EGR valve, guys. First thing we need to do, pop the hood. And we say pop the hood when we open the hood. All right, guys. So my engine is under here. We need to take all this stuff off. This is an engine cover. Take this little bolt out and then it pops right off. All right, guys. Here is the old EGR valve. You can see that I need to take off a bunch of things. First thing I need to take off is this, which is the air intake. That's how the car breathes and takes in air. All right, guys, this isn't a mechanic video. Let me take all this stuff off and then I'll show you when I put it back on. And hopefully we'll take care of my car's problem. It'll run better and the engine light will go away. All right, guys, real quick, I just wanted to show you my toolbox. This is where I keep all of my tools. My brother got me this, guys. I love it. It's awesome. I can keep all of my things organized. And I just want to show you the couple of tools I'll be using for this. This is called a ratchet. This is called a socket. You put this on and you use it to loosen or tighten bolts. And gonna need some pliers too. These are called pliers. All right, just wanted to show off my toolbox. All right, guys. Old EGR valve, new EGR valve. So I took this one out. Now this one is gonna go back in over here. Man, I hope this works, guys, because guess what? The mechanic that I took it to first and asked him how much it would be, he said $500. $500 to do this job. So I paid $200 for this, and it's gonna take me about an hour of my time. So as long as it works, I saved $300. Wish me luck, guys. I don't want to give that guy $300. All right, guys, I got it put back together. I have some disgusting, dirty hands. Everything is put back together. Now all we can do is try it and hope. So let's see. All right, guys, now that everything is put back together, we have to start the car up and let it idle. So when a car is idling, I'm sorry the light is not good in here, guys. It's just using the little light in my car. Because I'm not going to take the time to put my big light in here, so sorry about that. When a car is idling, it means that the engine is on, but you are not moving. It's just sitting still. So we have to start the car, let it idle for about 5 minutes, and then I'll take it for a little drive. But I want to be very honest with you guys right now. I get nervous when I do things like this because nobody taught me how to do this stuff when I was growing up. I didn't know anything about cars. I learned all this stuff myself by trying to fix things when I had a problem and my family needed me. So I get nervous when I'm about to start the car, like, oh no, what if I did something wrong and the engine just blows up? Well, let's find out. Okay, it didn't blow up. It's running. Now they said it could be a little bit rough, a little shaky at first, reading online, but if it's working, it'll smooth out, which it feels like it's doing. So let's hope this fixes my problem. All right, guys, it is 9:37 now. Okay, it's running super smooth now, but it's 9:37, and so far with my day, what I've done is get up, hydrate, go for a walk, learn, work on my car and learn some more. All right, I'm gonna take this for a drive in a few minutes. You guys don't need to see that. What you may notice is that I have not eaten yet. I don't eat breakfast, guys. My first meal of the day at the earliest is around 10. Usually it's between 10 and 12. So I'm gonna take my car for a little drive. I'll show you guys my first meal of the day. See you in a few. Okay, guys, so I just came back from my drive. Car is running fine. Only time will tell if that fixed the problem or if that check engine light will come back on. I wish I didn't have a car, honestly, sometimes, guys, but here you have to have one. I know that's strange to a lot of people around the world. They say, why don't you just take the bus or the train? Well, guys, that works in big cities, but here where I live, that does not work because there is no train and no bus anywhere near my house. And if I wanted to get to the train, I'd have to drive a car just to get there. So instead of paying Ubers every day, it's much more simple to have a car. And that's why most people here have vehicles. Most people with jobs anyway, they have a vehicle because, you know, we have to get up sometimes at 5 in the morning to go to work. So there's just no way you could take an Uber to the train. The train would take, you have to wait on the train. You gotta have a car here, guys. So think about that before you come here, unless you're planning to live in a big city where there is trains everywhere. And then even then, guys, just look on a YouTube video of public train New York City, public train San Francisco. It's not a place I want to be, okay? Drugs, people screaming at each other. If you're gonna be here, gotta get a car. All right, guys, so here's a part of my morning that I try to do when it's nice and warm. Matter of fact, my hair's still a mess. Let me take off my hoodie because it is warm right now. And let me put my hat back on so you don't have to see my bed head, what we call bad hair. And we call it bed head because it looks like you just woke up and got out of bed, even though I've been up for hours and doing many things. So what I like to do, guys, when it's nice, I like to come out here and sit on my nice comfy chair here. We have a few of them. I actually really like these, and I do my breathing out here, guys. It's pretty peaceful where we are. This is my front yard. That's my tree, our cars, but we have a lot of birds here, guys. So I like to sit out here. I can watch the birds eating. We have some squirrels here too, but I just like to practice my breathing, guys. And my breathing changes often, the breathing practices that I do, but I certainly do some form of breathing exercises every single day, and I have for years now. So my breathing practices started off as Wim Hof breathing. I'm sure most of you guys know what Wim Hof breathing is. It's where you breathe in real deep, let it out, in, out, and then you hold your breath. So the breathing looks like this. I still do that sometimes, but lately I prefer a more chill, more relaxed breathing. So I'll focus on my stomach, breathe in for 5 seconds, and really focus on expanding my stomach and just filling my body with air, and then I'll breathe out for 5 seconds. I can do that for 5-10 minutes, and the Wim Hof breathing gets your body real excited, okay? It fills you with adrenaline, which has its purpose. Wim Hof can explain it way better than me, so look out for a Wim Hof video. I'm positive there's one translated in whichever language you normally speak, because he's super famous. And then what this does is it makes you feel calm. And interesting, guys, I actually reached out to the Wim Hof team. I tried to get him for a short interview, but unfortunately, guys, as of right now, Wim is too famous for your English-speaking friend Kyle. But I am pretty proud because I got an email back from Wim Hof's son, Eric Hof. So that's pretty cool. I feel good about that. And I always try these things, guys. I send emails to whoever I want to talk to. And you got to be brave with things like that, because worst thing that happens is what? They say no. But hey, I'll try again when I have 1 million subscribers. See what happens then. All right. Oh, and eventually one of them will say yes. That's how I got to speak to Steve Kaufman, Pablo Roman. And those guys are in the language learning sphere. So guys, honestly, I'm pretty confident that I could reach out to almost anybody in the language learning world, and there's a very good chance that they'll say yes to an interview. But I'm trying to expand beyond that, guys, and just get to speak to people who interest me and share that with you guys. So there's some good things coming on the channel, don't worry. But anyway, oh, and I will talk to Wim Hof one day, maybe in person. That'd be so cool. All right, I'm gonna do some breathing, guys, and then I will get cleaned up. I washed my hands, of course, but I'll take a nice shower and then I'll eat. So let me do my breathing, chill out for a bit, and then I'll show you guys how I end my morning, because it's after 10 o'clock already, so the morning is coming to an end shortly. I forgot to tell you guys the most important part of my morning. I tell my wife how beautiful she is, how lucky I am to have her, and I give her a kiss on her forehead.
Oh, how sweet.
Don't I do that every single day, baby? Alright guys, I'm about to take a shower. I didn't show you guys the part where I brush my teeth. I do brush my teeth. That's boring. I'm focused on other things in the morning. So, I know this is nothing like a normal morning routine video, but this is how I live my life. Just wanted to mention, I make my own toothpaste. This is coconut oil, baking soda, a little bit of peroxide, and a little bit of peppermint oil. And my mouth has been much healthier since I started using this instead of what they sell at the store. I think the natural choice is usually the better one. So that's just me. All right, shower time. Let's get in the shower. Just kidding. You guys don't want to get in the shower with me. I'll see you at breakfast. All right, guys. It is about 10:30 and I'm going to start making my first meal of the day. I'm going to show you guys my favorite breakfast meal when I do not have leftovers from the night before. Okay, so many times I cook a big meal the night before. I have some left the next day. That's what we call leftovers, food from the night before. And I will eat that for my first meal. So a lot of times my breakfast is something that people would normally eat for dinner. And I like that. But when I do not have leftovers, I always make this, pretty much always. We'll start with a little bit of butter. Almost dropped my butter, but I caught it. Put it in my little skillet. This is the skillet. Let that butter melt. The butter is melting right now. While the butter is melting, I have to get my eggs ready. And to get my eggs ready, I juggle them. My wife hates that joke because she thinks I'm gonna make a mess in the kitchen. But I never drop them. All right, and now I crack. 1, 2, 3 eggs. Put a little bit of salt, and then my friends, cheese, queso. How you say cheese? Oh, fromage. That's French. Tell me guys, in your language, how do you say cheese? And then I will put some cheese on top of the eggs, and then on top of the cheese, I will put whatever seasoning I'm liking at the moment. My taste always changes, but this guy's a YouTuber. I like his content, so I like to support him. This is a Cajun seasoning, meaning that it's a little bit spicy. So we'll put that on top of the cheese, and then in just a minute, I'll show you the most important step. Okay, and now the most important and dangerous step. Flip it. And I do that so that the cheese can burn a little bit and get crispy, and with that seasoning, it's just absolutely delicious, guys. So I will show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, guys, let's build my favorite breakfast. A little bit of white rice, some good organic milk, and then the star of the show, my eggs with the cheese burnt on top. All right, guys, now that's how I like it to look. A little bit of that color is from the seasoning, which is red, but also I like to burn the cheese. It just tastes delicious, guys. So this is my favorite breakfast. Let me take a little picture for the thumbnail in case I use this part. All right, let's try it. You can see all that cheese. Oh yeah. Get a little bit of rice. All right, guys. That's delicious. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, then spend some time with my family. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned some useful vocabulary, just had some fun with your English speaking friend Kyle. Appreciate you all so much,